What up, said the entertainer? You are watching World Famous TV.
I'm Donald Ray Caldwell, aka Speedy. You're watching World Famous Television. The coldest comedian in the world, TK Kirkland.
Yo,
T
to the MFK.
What's up, it's your boy D-Ray Davis, light skin back in, you know what I'm saying? And right now you're checking out World Famous TV. You know, who else will be on there? Me, keep watching.
Operations Center of the LAPD, they're monitoring these pictures. He is getting help. How is our picture, by the way? Are we holding the picture together?
The story of one savagely beaten white truck driver alive tonight because four black strangers, came to his aid. Two were men who had been watching television and saw the beating as it was happening, came out into the street to help. Another was a woman on her way home from work. And the fourth, a young man whose name we may never know. The injured driver was able to get behind the wheel of his truck and tried to drive away, but his eyes were swollen shut. And the woman asked him if he could see, and he answered no, and she said, well, then I will be your eyes. Together, those four people braved the mob and drove that truck driver to the hospital.
What the hell do you have to lose?
A nigga, he left a nigga up in there, right? Monster Cody went over there and sat on the porch. Sat on the stairs by the door. Come here, nigga don't even know who Monster Cody is, right? But he know he's somebody. He said, come here, man, let me come. Sat down with him. See how your hands folded? The nigga said, you wanna live or you wanna die?
You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent.
About 192 injuries, 9 deaths.
And the nigga looking like, what the fuck is all this? He said, what'd you say? Now he got a shotgun, but I guess he might have knew who he was. He said, would you want to live or you want to die? Nigga said, I want to live. He said, well, go in the house and get all the dope and bring it to me so you can live.
Why do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no job. 58% of your youth is unemployed.
The nigga took all the dope and gave it to him. And the nigga came back, how much money you got? A nigga came over and took all the dope. He said, what you doing with the shotgun? I just couldn't shoot the nigga. And it was Monster Cody.
What strategy? There's no strategy here. There's chaos.
And I was like, oh, this nigga crazy as a motherfucker.
Kept the shotgun.
Man, for real, man. Man, they beat that nigga up down the street. That nigga went home and shut the whole house.
It's not something that it's across all the board that people that helps in this neighborhood. And please, guys, American, African American that were here and gave us hand through the whole ordeal here. So everybody has to be aware of it. That some people that think that the African Americans start the whole things. I want everybody to be aware that a lot of them help us here too. So it's not something that it's across all the board that people that help in this neighborhood.
What the hell do you have to lose?
50 years ago, there was a riot on Central in 76, and I was 11, 12 years old, selling a newspaper. And I saw the whole riot, like I was going, goddamn. And not until 50, 40 years later, his riot came through in 1991, 91? 92. And it just shook up the world. From LA to New York, to Detroit, to Chicago, you name it, everybody knew about LA folk. Sam Watson. This is Keith Watson. Keith Watson is known for the riot 25 years ago. Was with Retro Denny, football, Keith Watson, Antoine, and one more nigga. But football's in jail, football's our neighborhood. Antoine died, right?
Yes.
Which one died?
Yes,
Antoine died, and Keith Watson is the one that's trying to do right.
Need to restore order. What followed Wednesday's jury verdict in the Rodney King case was a tragic series of events for the city of Los Angeles. Nearly 4,000 fires, staggering property damage, hundreds of injuries, and the senseless deaths of over 30 people. To restore order right now...
Everything happened so fast. What's the boy named? Rodney King got beat down. The neighborhood went wild. And Keith just happened to happen. And he called Big Kid. He wanted Big Keith over there with him. So Keith went down there with him, and it happened. And it wasn't nothing he was proud of. It wasn't nothing he was happy about, but it happened.
In most inner cities, there is no such rite of passage that is clearly defined. And it's more difficult for a young American citizen to get a high school diploma than to get a gun. So with that, we really can't focus on the aftermath of the problem, our children living under violence, until we start to dissect the causes of this disease, and that lies in the quality of life in our youth. It's my belief that the prime factors that motivate children to drop out of school, steal, sell drugs, and possibly murder each other is the quality of their lives. Now, we could all say all the responsibility of the lives of these children lies solely with their parents. This is not wholly truth. All children growing up in this country should have the same rights when it comes to growing up into a responsible citizen. When the quality of their lives are made dysfunctional, the people are made inept. When the people are unable to take action against their frustrations, then the society in which they live becomes dysfunctional. If a child loses hope and doesn't believe he or she can affect the quality of life around them, then it makes it easier for them to disrespect themselves or their peers and the community in which they live. Whereas the actions of these children are in reaction to their quality of life, the inaction of federal and state governments towards any positive change is by far a more violent act. Why does more federal and state funding go towards prisons than education? Isn't it common sense to understand that we can't put everybody in jail, and that it would be more positive if we work towards raising a population of citizens to be assets to this country instead of dependents? America right now is a dysfunctional family, and its children in some places in this country are only acting out the dysfunction of their elders. By investing in our children, we reap the fruit of what we once were and what we can be as a country. If the federal government does not start working towards a positive future for our children, then imagine what damage the next 10, 15, 20 years hold for our country. If we raise a population of indifferent youth, you can expect far more incidents like the L.A. riots that will not be exclusive to larger American cities. This would be the ultimate violent act, and we would only have ourselves to blame and not our children.
My thing is I was so important and instrumental in tearing up my community 25 years ago that I have to be just as instrumental 25 years later in putting back into my community. So that's where I'm at with it now. You know, I'm an old ass man, grown man, so therefore, you know, I'm on a different page. I'm turning a chapter in my life, and that's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? Sam is like, you know, big brother. He raised me, you know, watched me grow. So, you know, that's why we're here today. You know, it's a beautiful day.
Call it black power. You mad at the white man? Why destroy my business? Why destroy my truck? Why steal my computer? I'm trying to make it. Could you understand that? Can't y'all see it? I'm trying to make it.
It's time for our people to come together.
Yes, it is.
And Sam's doing positive things here.
Black lives
you know,
matter.
and I like that. And I like how he comes back. You know what? A lot of people don't come back to their community unless they broke. This man been in his community, do a lot of things for his community. A lot of people look up to Sam, but Sam been like that for years. I've been knowing him since his sons played baseball for me, but I like the things he's done. He helps the inner city a great lot. He helps me every time I need something from a baseball program, he's there. But now, he back in his community doing what he likes doing, feeding his people.
And we're going to do in terms of the community itself, I mean, you know, the drugs, they're still here, but it's not as prevalent as it was before. You know, the gang activity That's always been here, but you know, we've always maintained you know, a pretty good standard around here, right? But you know, the issues I have is where we went from the beatings 25 years ago to, you know, just flat out murders right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care how you package it or look at it or try and prep it, it's murder. And we're tired of looking at it. We're tired of seeing that. You know, it don't take for me and anyone else to say this. You know what I'm saying? This is an issue that's been addressed over and over and over all these years. You know what I'm saying? And we are tired of addressing these issues. We're tired of the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We're tired of these attempts that go nowhere.
I expressed my outrage and my shock at the verdict. Others have done the same. We invite people to let their feelings come out. I think that's a very good way of sort of getting a release that you should have. But that kind of expression ought to be verbal. That's what I said yesterday, I say again today. We cannot and we will not tolerate any violence as a means of expressing anger or concern about the verdict. So let's put that apart from what we're dealing with today.
No group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group. No group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace.
You want to tell the OGs out there, they got the opportunity since you got their ear. You know, like I was talking to Tony Stacy a couple weeks ago when he got, you know, he got out, been locked down forever.
That was one of my neighbors.
You know, yeah, so.
He lived 4 doors down from me.
Right.
Yes,
what do you want to say to the OGs, especially Tony Stacy? He changed his life and everything,
exactly.
You know?
I'm glad to see you made it home. You know, he came about that warehouse, man. Hell yeah, I talked to him, you know, his family. Exactly, he's another one, you know, that left early on in the 70s and just now coming home in the Buck Rogers years. But yeah, I mean, time has changed. It's a different world now. You feel what I'm saying? Where there was no cell phones, no social media. It's a different time. I mean, of course, as you get older, you know, you're not gonna do the things you used to do. You know, no more kid shit. You know, we on some grown man shit right now, and they understand that. I mean, you know, it's good that he was able to make it home. You know, a lot of them brothers have to come home because they making room for all them youngsters going up in there with them football numbers. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But it's a different time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the same person I was 25 years ago, but you know, to some certain degree, I am still that same person. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot of history over here.
So,
you know what I mean?
Is there any outreach programs, any programs you want to, you know, direct people to if they, you know, trying to get their life away from that situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's various programs.
What's up, brother?
But one thing I will do, which is a priority that me and him discuss all the time, dealing with these community-based organizations out here now. One thing that me and him always discuss, and one of my ideology is that you got to be the leader, and by being the leader, you got to handpick these people to be a part of this organization. Whatever organization you finna establish to try to help these youth turn their lives around, get them off of drugs, get them out of gang banging, or whatever they doing is negative. Everybody on your team got to be positive. They got to have something to bring to the table. These people got to be handpicked. You know, if they not handpicked, the whole organization is going down. So that's something I learned inside the prison system, and since I've been out right now, you got a lot of people dealing with these out here in Southern California and Los Angeles County. You got so many different organizations, community-based organizations. The LA County is saturated with it, but they got a lot of the wrong people in it for all the wrong reasons. A lot of these people got ulterior motives. They don't have no love and real passion in their heart for our youth out here. They just on the executive board to get some money and go home and make sure their family is all right. Just again, going back to what I'm saying, people, if I was to be voted as a leader of any type of organizations out here, my main concentration will be on hand-picking people according to their qualifications. without no favoritism because we went to school together. You was my homeboy, nothing. You don't qualify to sit on the panel. You don't qualify to be in no leadership position. You not. And another thing is about all these organizations out here, they don't have no sincere tracking system. You have to have a sincere tracking system. What I mean by that, if you're dealing with youth that come through your organization, you must have a tracking system to track these youths down that you're trying to help. You have to be able to track them down a month later to see what type of progress they're making. Because they can very well come to your organization. You don't work with them for a couple of months and they go right back to the hood. Them is the type of individuals you don't want to give them options. Either you're going to be in or out. So again, it's all about the pivotal and most essential thing I feel is that you got to have people on your team, a part of your organization. Everybody gonna carry their own weight. Everybody got the potentials and the qualification and deal with these youth. If they don't have experience, then you got to bypass until you get the right experience. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
The message that I'm saying, it's a war on black men. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I don't care how you view this, and it don't taste good. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? We tired of it. And we're awake now, and we're going to do something about it. We got to do something within ourselves, first of all. Before we address anyone else, we as black men got to do something with our
95% of your murderers and murder victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male minorities, 15 to 25. That's true in New York, it's true in virtually every city. And that's where the real crime is. You've got to get the guns out of the hands of the people that get killed. So you want to spend the money, put a lot of cops in the street, put those cops where the crime is, which means in the minority neighborhoods. So it's one of the unintended consequences is people say, oh my God, you are arresting kids for marijuana that are all minorities. Yes, that's true. Why? Because we put all the cops in the minority neighborhoods. Yes, that's true. Why do we do it? Because that's where all the crime is. And the way you get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them against the wall and frisk them. And then they say, oh, I don't want that. I don't want to get caught, so they don't bring the gun. They still have a gun, but they leave it at home.
Okay, this young man right here is Al Ward. Al Ward is from KJLA Stevie Wonder. Whenever Stevie Wonder, like I said, we didn't do this for the press. We gonna say the press thing to the thing, cause he wanted to put it on the radio this morning. Right. I said, no, let's do this when I can tell you, right? Then when we do that, we're gonna do that right.
So it's a lot of people out there want to know, running a radio station, being black owned, really coming from the roots of good sounding music and well-written songs. How does it feel to be a pillar in the community and also be a trendsetter and a leader in the radio industry of what music is supposed to be played or supposed to sound like instead of some of the rhetoric that we hear right now on the radio stations that come and go?
Well, we're the only black-owned station west of the Mississippi. Everyone is owned by whites. So Stevie Wonder, we're happy to have him to make us able to go on in the morning and talk about issues. When something happens, we're right on top of it.
Start over again. Say it one more time. We're the what?
We're the only black-owned station west of the Mississippi. No station is owned by a black owner except Stevie Wonder. And we've been there 50 years and we remain strong. And we're going to be strong. We play the music that people want to hear. We're here for the community. The KJLH band will be here in a minute. Day Lamar will be here in a minute.
And you talk to Stevie Wonder every single day about what goes on in the community and what goes on with the radio, the music, Al Ward.
If we're not here for you, nobody's going to be here for you.
That's right.
The only way we succeed is if you succeed. We're a community station. And that's what we want to do, is be in the community and help people in the community. We were there when the riots were, and we're still here.
We must keep on working to create a climate of understanding and tolerance, a climate that refuses to accept racism, bigotry, anti-Semitism, and hate of any kind, anytime, anywhere.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
What I'm saying is this: you had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
Trying to gaslight us, again, asking us to believe something contrary to what you and I and everybody can see with our own ears. With our own eyes and hear with our own ears. This all came up today as Mr. Trump was responding, of course, to Joe Biden's campaign kickoff video in which Biden talked about the president's fine people on both sides statement.
I think Sam and I are sitting here because of sports. I grew up in New Jersey, and the only way I got out of New Jersey and not having any money was by playing sports and being able to go to college, because they wouldn't have let me in any other way, just that left side, played sports. I texted my daughter a message yesterday. She's going to school up in Boston, and she's kind of confused, and you know, she likes being black, but she's kind of confused on what she wants to say to her parents and what she wants to have. A little spoiled a little bit. And I texted her that my father, white people used to come to our house back in the 50s. I was born in 1950. And they would come to our house and they'd say, mark your X right there to my mother and father. So which means that my father was like 40-something years old and he couldn't even write his own name. Okay, which showed you what they did in Georgia with Jim Crow and prejudice. Wouldn't teach black kids how to write, how to read. My father was 40-something years old and couldn't write his own name.
And that was considered a legitimate signature.
Yeah, that was something that they did. So the only thing we can do now that we have a little bit is reach back and pull some other people with us, pull these little kids. I asked Day Lamar to come down here today so some of the little kids could see her and just know what a real black woman is like. And when they look at Sam and they look at people like us and they say, that's what a black man is and that's what we want to be like. We don't want to be running and gang banging and stealing and robbing. Go get some education, and even if you don't get an education, get a trade. Get something that you can do to make some money and help your kids make some money. So make them better than what you are, and you be better than what your parents were.
Father, we come to you right now, just praising and thank you for this blessed day, Heavenly Father. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the ones that came, Heavenly Father, the ones that couldn't be here, Heavenly Father. We just want to praise you, thank you for the Watson family, the Corey family. We want to thank you for the Normandy family. We just want to thank you, Heavenly, for what you've done and continue to bless everyone here, Heavenly Father. That everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Heavenly Father. And thank you for the love that you put in our bodies. In the name of the Father, Son, and Ghost, we say, amen.
Let me keep discussing. We don't care about the press. We know what we done. We know when we talked about it 2 months ago, we're going to come do it. And that's all there is.
Regardless.
We just want to see people have a good day. We got some, we got fun.
Now, Al, I was introduced to Stevie Wonder by a brother named Showboat. And what I learned from Showboat and Stevie Wonder is it doesn't matter what color you are, as long as you have a great attitude and you're one of the best musicians on the planet, you have no problem associating and dealing with this guy. So in dealing with Stevie Wonder, have you come across some of the most famous and iconic artists in the world, and what was the one that left the most or the best impression upon you?
I've been around for 35 years working for Stevie Wonder, so I've seen just about everybody, from Michael Jackson all the way through. So the one that left the most impression on me, I'd have to say Stevie Wonder. I'd have to say he's one of the best, if not the best, and then I'd have to say Prince. I enjoyed going to his shows, going to his home in Minneapolis, and just being around him because he was a great performer. And Stevie Wonder is a great performer. There's a lot of great performers out there, but they come at the top, to me. Michael Jackson was good. Our security was Michael Jackson's security, so we were able to go and be on stage and go to his parties. And when Don King gave his tour, we went up to the Hilton downtown and went to Michael Jackson's suite. And so we got to see people close up, and we were more welcome in those days than we are now. Now that people have gotten so big, they don't come to the community and work with the black radio station. They try to shut us down. They don't try to lift us up. Even Donald Trump, people say Donald Trump is prejudiced, but when we were doing Don King fights with Mike Tyson in Atlantic City, Donald Trump would get out of the the car and come over and shake all our hands, all the black people. He didn't have to do that, you know. So I saw things that a lot of people don't see over the years. And 35 years is a long time. From Don King to Al Heyman. When Al Heyman did his first concert, I was the one who did it for him, right at the Coliseum. So we've seen a lot of things over the years, and to answer your question, I think Stevie Wonder and Prince is my top two.
Harder, homie. Come on. And your the fountain gotta start here. Okay, now it's time to go home. Yeah, I got a regular whip, homes. I ain't even got that flashy $100,000 thing in the driveway, cause I'm hustling. My whip costs 7 G's, and with 4,000 I got the accessories. And I still get to the same place, but I rock that hooker dead in your face. Man, I don't need that shine. I come through, call me 619. Me and my kin folks stay on the grind. And I stay smoking, homie, catch me rolling on something. Incognito, they said 619, oh, he's with those people. They in the VIP, throwing up big drinks and they laughing, getting money.
Just get your grind on.
Okay.
For your loved ones.
I will.
For your guys, sons.
Okay.
Get your hustle. Just get your grind on.
Cha-ching.
For your loved ones.
Okay.
And your guys, sons.
Fast, gotta see.
Just get your hustle.